Alright. What's going on next, people? This is gonna be flows and chart requests video. Happy Sunday, first of all. Sunday, August 25th. So I'm gonna cover as many as I can here. I will say that a lot of the names are names that are already kind of covered in the Discord. So let's see what do we got. Again, I'm checking on X, formerly known as Twitter, the flow requests. You guys got some good names here, I will say. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's start with the first one that I see from Salvatore. We got AMC. Let's go, Sal. All right, so AMC. What do I have drawn here? Weekly. Let's go daily. AMC. First of all, I'm not gonna talk much about my overall thoughts, thesis. You guys already know what I think overall, right? People have different opinions, different takes. For me, the way I've approached MC ever since 2021 has played out beautifully for me personally, right? I'm a huge fan, obviously, of cinemas and movies in general, so I would love seeing here a big squeeze like many think and want, but I do think there are a few things that have to take place before it ever happens, right? So let's just talk a bit of the chart and flows and everything. Pretty simple for now what I've drawn here, which is kind of the lows of all-time lows basically, right? It is all-time lows, yeah. So the lows of April 2024 to the highs after this huge candle, which is kind of, yeah, I'm not gonna do 4 hour because it's just, I mean, you look at the wicks here and you don't like it, but this is a pretty clean uptrend look, short term as well, right? From April to May. And then you obviously see the dancing in between golden pocket to 0.5. So that's kind of clear right now. Daily, anything else in terms of charting it and the momentum and indicators and everything, in my opinion, it's noise. People have been doing it for years, trying to chart it. And again, I chart all the time, but it doesn't make any sense to chart it continuously because when people did it, it kept on falling and falling. It goes up with the market cycles. So in shorts and big shorts and dealers kind of switch positions and roll options positions and cover shorts through derivatives, that's when they move, the meme stocks, right? Especially the January 2021 basket that moves together. And we all like to trade it, it's fun, but that's when it moves. All right, it moves when big money wants to move it, period. Nothing to do with retail. So looking at the chart, and it is relevant now. I did post a few weeks ago, I think, that AMC is now in my watch list. Again, I posted on Discord exactly what I'm watching, but I got a level that I'm planning on buying. If it hits there, if it doesn't hit my level and it just goes up, cool. I'm gonna trade it to the upside, not trying to time tops, bottoms, whatever. Just ride the momentum even more than the trend. So if I'm looking at AMC now, it's some flows. I don't think we'll see any dark pulls, to be completely honest. But we can check quick. Oops. Let's see. Let's do above 100 grand. You know, we actually got some. Let's put above 3 mil. $27 million on AMC. Kind of decent. July 15th, also lately. July 15th. So that's here. That's when they block traded. Actually, right when it touched 0.5. Hasn't done much yet since, I mean. Besides, as I've said, kind of dancing in this area of 0.5 to golden pocket, which is kind of a good area to be at, right? Especially if you're creating higher lows every time, which you did, even with a great August crush, August Fugazi, August Yang carry trade, call it whatever you want. But it did create higher lows on AMC. So going back into this, that's a prior, okay. Latest blocks were August 12 and August 14th at the 505 and 512. August 12 and in August 14th, which is kind of good that they've been slowing down the dark pools in the last week or so. That's a good sign, especially creating higher lows. So let's go back to option floats here. We got a few things. This is at the bid course, but it's a cross trade, so we can, I don't want to say ignore it, it's important, but we're gonna approach it differently. this position from August 13. Okay, so that's open. Then we had a few short, here you go, yeah, short strangles, it looks like to me. So they're basically shorting vol into November. Now pay attention that they're paying more, well, getting more premium to basically short the puts, which means by nature, what they want is a decay. And you see, they've been shorting it. I've posted about it. They've been shorting the puts, shorting the calls. They've been making money. Look at this. That's a heck of a trade. Selling calls, selling puts, and both of them have been decaying and selling off. So they're making money out of this position. Shorting vol basically. Open on August 9th, which means that they did it here. Here. Right? Yeah, on Friday, August 9th. And ever since, it's just kind of consolidating, compressing even on momentum. So yeah, that's not a bad look, I'll be honest. It's not a bad look at all. So they're just playing around with, and that's not too much of a big, it started with 200 grand. It's not huge, but it's, again, for a stock like AMC, it's a few hundreds of thousands of dollars spent throughout the trade. So I do think it's being a floor trader is someone who knows what they're doing, especially looking at it now when you see that they've been banking it, right? They're making money. Noise. But I do want to show you one thing that I saw that we actually caught on stream on Friday. So check this out on AMC. I'm gonna go stupid here and go above $1,000 premium. What's this? I haven't seen this one. Look at this, same thing I just talked about. Someone's shorting strangles, wider ones now, shorting 8 calls and 5 puts. Interesting. But what we did see into close is, that's noise, could be retail as well. This one was a bit interesting, I will say. 5.5 for September OPEX, monthly OPEX. Now, the reason it's interesting, because if you just look at premium on Friday, just 30 grand, it most likely could be retail that, as you see, retail is still buying options on this name and selling options, which, by the way, doesn't matter. Buying, selling, it's, again, if you don't play the cycles on this stock, unless you're really long term, that's something else, right? More power to you, obviously. Again, I want longs to win this. It's just been falling down for years. But I'll tell you what, this one is super interesting to me, because 5.5, it's kind of, it's not even at the money. I believe it's slightly over the money. Still, September OPEX, that's the next monthly OPEX. Look what happened here. Right after the top of May, you had a big player here on May 29th, right? So a few months ago. And they open around 2,000 contracts, decent, 200 and something grand. Again, it's not crazy, but it's not small money. And looking at this, it's kind of telling you, okay, someone opened a lot of calls. They're still holding the position. And ever since you saw another player, not huge again at all, but you see accumulation of calls. So again, calls doesn't mean necessarily someone wants to trade it and shoot it to the moon. Most of the time, people buy calls to hedge positions. People buy puts to hedge positions. That's what options are there for, right? But it's a bit different because of where we added the cycle of small caps and meme stocks and shorts covering overall in the market. They're still holding it to September OPEX. This was one of the reasons actually why we talked about it again, that it's getting an interesting look here. And again, in literally the last few minutes of Friday, you had a few more buyers on those same calls, while the decaying puts are still playing a role here, right? So you've been creating higher lows. And as I've said, for now, that's looking good. 5.3 is the 0.5 of this uptrend. You can even do some, I don't like charting it too much, but just being such a huge candle here, big volume, pre-split as well. Yeah, that's actually giving you something as well. Let's see. On this downtrend, by the way, golden pocket exactly where you gap down, and then you kind of got topped right from 0.5, and then again, dead cat bounce into the 0.236, bottomed, rejected right from the 0.5, same area you rejected here. So that's an important cycle. And look where you're at right now. You're literally trying to climb above 0.236, which is $5 exactly. So also a psychological level. So that's MC. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, it's looking pretty good for a trade. Obviously, manage risks. You do manage your risk. You do want to make sure that it's creating higher lows. And I think MC is going to give you another pop pretty soon in the next few weeks, and definitely something I will look to trade. All right, that's already 10 minutes on AMC. Holy shit! So I hope it helped you guys. And as always, keep just trusting your plan, following the flows, the charts, the story of the cycle of where the market is at, and everything. Um, Next one, I see SLV. All right, so obviously you guys know I'm bullish silver. I'm long a lot of the miners that I'll keep the names again in the discords because they kind of rotate between different miners, especially in silver, by the way. Gold, they're kind of the same ones that have been showing us some decent leg up. But silver, they've been a bit different the way they move it. But yeah, honestly, not too much to talk about. I do see that you gave me some context here, Marcel. So, yeah, I mean, SLV is just, it's the silver ETF. Anyone who doesn't know, again, it's not, nothing here is financial advice, nothing here is tax advice. But SLV, GLD, those ETFs that move with the gold and silver, the bullion, like the actual commodity, they are being taxed higher. That's why I personally like trading individual stocks and not the ETFs. But just so you know, you're getting taxed higher because Uncle Sam doesn't want us to, make too much money out of commodity cycles. But honestly, I don't have too much to add. Bullish flows, super cycle, so it's gonna take some time. Anyone who's not patient, just it's not for them. That's silver. 2008 lows to basically all-time highs on SLV, and you can literally see what happened in Golden Pocket. False breakdown every time, especially this Fugazi zone in 2020. That's COVID. Ever since you literally touched golden ratio and pumped. So this was again, we liked it from 2023. It's nothing new. Obviously broke out, still looks pretty good, so not much to add. I like silver, I like SLV. It's something to watch, especially flow zone, to gather more sentiment. But yeah, I see going higher. If you're looking for short term, I'm gonna stay on the weekly here and just say that this was kind of a nice bottoming area, right? In 2024, so you kind of take lows to highs, simple uptrend cycle. 27, call it, that's kind of your support right now. You could drop below it and then still create higher lows, which is not bad. It's healthy. But that's kind of the cycle I would watch short term. Again, that's a super cycle. It's gonna take time to play out. That's how commodities move. Like like other cycles and sectors that kind of move in a super cycle. All right. So again, guys, I'm gonna try to cover as many as possible. A lot of the names this year, as I said, we already talked about and planning to talk about more every day on streams on Discord anyways. So no point in doing it now, but let's see. Div with ARM. So what do you got on ARM? Well, I'm long ARM, obviously. I've been talking about it a little bit after IPO. I never like buying IPOs, right? So I kind of missed the boat here, but I've been following. We really, really liked ARM as a company, is what they represent. I believe in data centers. I just like it. And then add to the equation the fact that it just saw ridiculous bullish flows, right? So kind of waited for a breakout out of the IPO level, which we happened to see obviously. Then we had the beginning of January 2024, followed it big time here. I went pretty long, heavy long in the 60s. And then I actually took profits, I remember. It crashed. I thought I did something. It went up higher though. So I waited for a dip. And as I said, in August, I actually bought more. I added to my ARM position. Kind of what I watched, and we actually reversed nicely from this channel after breaking down below it. Fugazi, that was a trap. We're above it. And yeah, still kind of the levels that I watched. This January 2024 lows to the highs of July 2024. 147 kind of next resistance, 126 area, 125.69 noise to be exact. You support. That's what I'll be, that's what we're kind of watching. But ARM overall, again, one of those names that we've just seen some decent accumulations. So honestly, not much to add. You're gonna see always kind of mixed flow when it's going higher. So people are gonna get confused. But the key is to kind of really go back in time and see if positions are still open. And I like it. I mean, if you just see a lot of the call buyers, even the big ones, this one is a bid side, but then you open it 185 and you say boom, boom. You see, yeah, could have been cold sellers, to be honest, but I personally don't care, because if you're looking at the bigger, like $10 million one block, come on now, and that's above us. 130s for December 2026. Look at the accumulation here. They're still holding, and that's only one example of flows, right? So yeah, I mean, if it dips nicely, I'm a buyer for now. It's looking pretty good. I like it. You obviously have Nvidia earnings this week, so that's pretty important for ARM short term and how it's gonna move. And you also want to look at the story with ARM and Nvidia. So it's gonna be important. Besides that, still looking good to me. Next, we got Ape Week. I like the names you give all the time. VKTX, that's a good one. So, okay, we talked about it in the Discord as well. What a nice pump we got here of 30% almost here, right? And then it kind of corrected, but so decent demand right away from the August 5th lows, obviously. Looks pretty good. And I will say that I want to show you this. XBI being the biotech ETF, which obviously moves with growth and small caps on these market cycles in the past few years. And then you kind of look here, the 105 over the money, big volume candle entered. So you could kind of say that it started bid side, but then big one was ask side. I'm liking it. I'm liking the way it moves. Definitely name also on watch for us this week and all of September for upside on VKTX to watch flows to kind of time it nicely. But this one, you kind of see the same thing, you see? They're buying calls. August 19th, nice. So they sold calls, but then look what happened. The options already expired. They literally sold here at the top, see? Shorted a lot of calls, and boom, you decayed. And the options, they just expired this Friday. So now you after all the bearish flows, well, bearish flows, like hedging, whatever it is, like cold sellers, looks like cold sellers because it's mainly bid side, they all expired. So you can say, okay, this is kind of when I want to watch more, especially if XBI as a whole, biotech is starting to look pretty damn good, right? So that's kind of where you want to watch XBI, obviously, the biotech ETF, and you say, okay, if we break 103 and then 104, you're above 0.5. You're creating basically higher lows ever since 2022. Higher highs, sorry. You're breaking out into higher highs on XBI, the biotech. Highs we've seen only in 2022. So then if it happens, you can set some alerts on XBI and then you go back to VKTX. And VKTX is just looking like it's gonna go much higher. So yeah, you can kind of chart it like an obvious downtrend here, right? That looks like this. To me, it actually looks, if anything, like you kind of broke it, to be honest, right? Rejected every time. Then boom. You can even do something that, let's say, from here, if you want to touch this one, and it's still looking like it, yeah, look at this. Resistance, 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 boom. Potentially broke out above right now. And you kind of had an inside day potentially after this big 17% upside day on Monday, August 19th. Now you're kind of dancing, compressing here. So that's a pretty decent look here, we'll say. And you see relative strength to S&P 500 looks like it wants higher. Momentum is indicating bearish, but it's not bad. If anything, short will get squeezed. That's what usually happens, as you see, when momentum is switching bearish. Got squeezed. So that's how I trade these type of names like biotech and growth and everything. So yeah, it looks like it kind of held the downward channel here. So VKTX is looking pretty damn good. You take all-time highs to the dodgy lows here, 0.5. Support 61.8. So if you're kind of testing against 62 or 61, in my opinion, it's just going to act as support and then shoot up. And then VKTX could go to 70s, possibly 80s. And with the cycle of the market, it could even go much higher with biotech and growth, right? So yeah, that's a good name. Definitely on watch. We're gonna watch it more. What else do we got? That's becoming a bit too long, the video, but okay. So DraftKings, a week before NFL season. DraftKings, what do we got? All right, so we broke down from here, rejected again. I remember this. Didn't play anything here, but I did watch it. and recovered pretty nicely lately. DraftKings. Let me clean this because it's been a while since I charted it. DraftKings. I'm gonna do weekly. I don't like the way the daily looks. Ooh, all-time highs to 2022 lows, which is almost all-time lows. Look where you're at right now. Testing golden pocket of downtrend. So if you break this, you confirm breaking out of downtrend. So that's a pretty explosive potential setup here. And I do believe we saw something on DraftKings, like really lately in the last week or two. Let me see. Floor trader could be underlying stock related, but even if it is, still looking like a damn amount of $1.8 million here of 5,000 calls traded on only 460 OI. And if you're looking at the contract, that's kind of obviously at a low point, a low price. December 2026 as well. So that's a decent trade. At the ask, looks like a buy to me. It does. And then what are they doing here? Like a calendar spread? Yeah, it could be. Shorting August 30th. This Friday, basically. And then log in September 26th. September 6th. So short 5-day TE, long 12 TE. Okay, that's a good trade. Damn. That's an interesting trade. It's actually a smart trade, if anything. Looking at the daily, right? If you get a rejection here, they get money from the lower DTE course. But they are bullish on the stock, so they just want the stock to go up. So if DraftKings goes lower, 34 area, 35, I kind of see it holding a support just like it did here, the bottom of the golden pocket, and then just shooting to the upside. So they're staying hedged for potential downside short term this week. Overall, still a bullish position though. So DraftKings is looking pretty good. Absolutely. And then what do we got? All right, so let's do last one. Let's do last one. Guys, I always kind of want to look at anyone who's either a follower for a while and been kind of I know their name because they've been. I love interaction all the time, right? Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, give me takes, ask me questions. That's what I kind of like. So if I see names that I'm kind of familiar with, and I see a lot of you guys here in the Discord as well, obviously. So you guys are all good. I'm gonna cover you guys in the streams throughout the week, obviously. And all right, let's do Matthew. What? Arman. Mara. Mara. Okay, I can do Mara, but I'm gonna be honest here, right? So it's gonna be my true opinion. You Andrew's brother, right? Let's get it then. Let's get it. Mara. Okay, so first of all, as we said, MicroStrategy is my favorite. Beautiful plus 12% day. Was a heck of a day trade as well. Coin, obviously, same thing. We saw the rolls that kind of were timely to kind of close a position through buying calls. And then you got Mara. So you asked about Mara. I will say that I'm not a fan of the stock, right? I've been saying it for a long time. I don't like Bitcoin miners besides a selected few. I don't like their business model. I don't like the way they trade. For me, I kind of call them it's kind of a meme stock to me, like more even than actual meme stocks, just because they move with the cycle of crypto other than the actual business, the underlying business, right? I don't like their business model at all, but that's a bit of macro. Orange circles, that's resistance. If you break out of 18.5, hold it this week, that's a pretty good look, or then you potentially flip prior resistance into now support, right? And you kind of already tried to do it, then you broke below it into end of July and August, right? But also market related. So yeah, Mara is not looking bad at all, I will say. I'm just not a fan of trading it. Flows are super, super, super noisy on Mara, so it's gonna take me a long time. That's why we can't really do a deep dive on the stream. So I don't know if I'll. Yeah, that's just too much. You got spreads, you got hedging, you got directional flows, you got a lot of overall activity. So it doesn't even matter like the size of it or or anything. So I'll focus on the overall, you know, sector, which is kind of crypto, right? I think crypto is looking good, but I think it's a trap short term. 18.5 on Mara, that's what I would watch. Monday is usually a continuation day. So you want to make sure that you continue Monday. I like to call Mondays field days, right? Just to watch, to see what it does. Then this week, if you just hold 18.5 and it looks pretty good to the upside, then you see how it's usually trading. It's giving you some upside, but then these moves are kind of rare. I know that a few let's see. And by the way, I longed the Amara at $4, and then I sold it at like I think it was 11, and then it went like double, even more, triple higher. But personally, don't care. It was a heck of a trade for me. Caught it when the bullish, mega bullish flows enter in 2023. So I'm moved on, obviously, right? It was a great trade for me, and now I feel like retail are kind of chasing those names. So that's again, just my opinions. As I've said, hold 18.5 in the next 3 to 4 trading days, then it looks pretty good, right? Because of the cycle of crypto. I do think that if you see a trap and then basically sell off in the next few days, that's not bad. It actually makes sense. A lot of crypto flows hedged for a lot of downside this upcoming week. So if anything, you just want to see if you you see what happens here. You basically had higher lows every time, and then kind of gave you some nice upside every time. But that's why I don't like trading it, like the way it moves. But if it does the same thing, even if it goes lower, then that's what you want to see, like higher lows. Besides that, yeah, not much to add. I mean, if you're looking at the weekly charts, looking good. Chart really looking good. So anyone who's kind of even opening the monthly chart, right, and looking for, I guess, like clear reversal. Even here, you bought it, you went red, but then you went green. Here reversal, you bought it, you're pretty green. Obviously here, like this almost morning star look. Same here, but again, that's why, as I've said, I'm just not a fan of this stock. I'm not a fan of this stock. Again, just like meme stocks, people are gonna lose more than they make, but you can always trade it. You can always trade it. You just gotta make sure that you secure profits, because yeah, it couldn't be a multi-bagger if you time it right, but then if you're getting used to trading this type of stocks, then eventually it can also burn you, and you lose more than you even gained on the multi-bagger on those type of names. So again, I'm not trying to be a shield here, just saying my opinions. And yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, it's kind of tough. You see, you kind of, if you look at this as a clear uptrend ever since the lows of December 2022, you bounced right from October 2023, which was Q4, right? The beginning of the melt up of the market overall. And it had a big move. So now you kind of broke below it. But again, with the markets, with August 5th, what happened? So now when you're literally touching the same area again, you see? So that's why I will feel much more comfortable above 18.5 for a few days, strong few days above it, and then you claim uptrend. That's when you can get an explosive move. So that's when I will get more interested, right? Clear kind of the highs here, and then it just looks like a better chart than trying to time lows. And again, anyone who entered here gonna tell you we timed bottom, we're already green. Cool. What about all the time that they got crushed? So that's what I would say. Anyways, look for, you don't want to get rejected of this channel, obviously, like, because it's a pretty simple trend line. It's trading above it, crypto's looking decent. Play the trend. When it moves big. Absolutely. Alright, so that's what I will say. We're gonna keep flows on watching the Discord though, on this name, even if not to trade Mara only. I know a lot of you guys in the Discord likes it, but a lot of you also like trading overall crypto. So that's gonna give us some sentiment if we see an unusual directional trade here. And then we're gonna do, guys, I see some names that I don't even know or not even following me, so I don't get the point of like, with all the respect, if you're not following, how will you see what I'm posting, like the video? So it doesn't make sense. I want to make sure people see it, what I post and work on, right? So I'm gonna do All right, last one. All right, last one. It's already pretty long. So last one's gonna be got a few decent names. I will say got some decent names. Under Armour, that's a good name. Good name. Got a few Under Armour on the Discord as well though. So we'll look. It's already posted there. Same as obviously the big names. Got Google, Meta. Already talked about them in the Discord this week. So for X, let's do. I guess we can end with Palantir, even though it's a Discord favorite, but haven't looked actually in the last week to be completely honest. I'm pretty long Palantir. You guys know it. Anyone who's been following me for a while. I like the stock. I like the company. I love Palantir. Not much to add. It literally just touched some decent new highs. 30. So we just hit 31. So we claimed 30 recently, which was beautiful. Yeah, I don't even know what to add at this point. Like Palantir, you had some bearish flows that actually got squeezed because of bullish flows, so that's kind of how it moves. I really like reading obviously flows on this one, especially because I'm long the stock, so I watch it often. And for now, even this potentially, to be honest, this looks like they're shorting puts and they're in the money puts for January 2026. So $1 million of writing premium potentially. That's a pretty bullish bet. Then you got 27s, which is slightly in the money. So you said, okay, maybe they're, and it's actually on a closing position trend, right? There have been closing positions in the last few weeks. But then if you go zoom in and you say, okay, maybe they just bought in the money because of Palantir short term, I see here kind of topped, right? At 33. So now maybe they're saying, okay, I see a bit of downside, but I'm still bullish. So I want to buy in the money cost. Stay hedged, boom, goes down, goes lower to the low 30s, maybe even 29, 28, but then it's going higher. So that's what we've seen every time with Palantir. Stays on watch. I still like it. Again, as I've said, I'm long the stock. And not much to add besides that. I'm not even gonna chart it because basically this kind of move in the last week is we only seen it in all-time highs range in 2021, right? So for now, we'll keep following flows, trust the flows, and like it. I'm gonna, yeah, I can post more about it if I find anything on X, but we talk about it all the time in the Discord. We like it. It's a great, one of the better, in my opinion, stocks with a more potential. They're not just saying AI, but they got actual potential. Okay, guys, that's it. The whole video is already 30 something minutes. And yeah, appreciate everyone for watching. As always, much love. I'll see you around on X. Just so you guys know, the Discord is still open right now, I believe. Yeah, it's still open for a new sign up, so you guys can just check my pinned post if you guys want to join. Again, it's really not for you if you're kind of looking for someone to follow. We got new traders and people that are new. They want to learn a lot because we got libraries of education about flows and how to follow markets and technical analysis and fundamentals and macro and everything. But it's mainly, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of mainly advanced. So anyone who wants to surround themselves with some legit people with great energy that follow flows, follow charts, follow markets, then that's how we grow, right? Surround yourself with good values. So that's the link gonna be in the website, basically in my pinned post. Feel free to check it out if you want. And yeah, that's it. Besides that, much love. Appreciate you guys for watching as always. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and I'll see you around on X. Peace out.